Alright, we are on the draw with some RUG Delver. We're going to join our opponent in mulliganing to 6, because I don't keep 7s that don't have lands. The opponent kept 6, so shall we. We have interaction, cantrips, lands, a threat. Scrying a lightning bolt, probably to the top. Not necessarily good, but probably good enough. The first lightning bolt is pretty good, I think, in general. Maybe lightning bolt actually gets better as you draw more of them. The opponent's got to search for tomorrow on top of their deck. Or sorry, on suspend, not on top of their deck. We're just going to play a Flooded Strand, hold up Spell Snare, and Thought Scour. Probably going to be using that Spell Snare here. Looks like we're playing against Titanshift again. Maybe we have a redemption match here. Pretty exciting. Here's a Farseek that we are going to happily counter. I think we're just going to get an island just on the off chance that we don't need to get a stomping ground with the wooded foothills. Even getting a forest. 2 damage is too much damage. It doesn't matter. There's a Traverse the Ulvenwald. I'm going to fetch out a stomping ground. This is going to be Tarmogoyf. And our life total is already too low to really do anything about. The opponent playing Search for Tomorrow. They have a land. Only 4 cards in hand. We also have only 4 cards in hand. 3 mana. Anger of the Gods not going to do it. Wood Elves, sure, that's fair. Getting an untapped Cinderglade, not that that matters very much. And I think we're just going to bolt that Wood Elves. Probably the best thing we can do. Traverse here, not going to do anything special. Yeah, I'm just going to use the Lightning Bolt to push some damage through. Put a creature in the bin. Kinda, sorta give Goyf Trample, given that Wood Elves almost certainly would have chumped. So let's get in there, send it over to the opponent, see what happens. Prismatic Omen, definitely a pain for us to deal with. We could scour here trying to find a Spell Snare to counter it. I guess we may as well. Do I scour before getting the breeding pool? I don't think so. Actually, I am going to scour before getting the breeding pool. Mishra's Bauble, sure. I didn't want to pay shock on the breeding pool if I didn't have to. I'm not the kind of person who pays for things that they don't have to pay for. It just feels wrong on a fundamental level. 3 card types in the bin. What do you say we add a 4th? Sounds good to me. Do we want to see what we're going to draw? I don't think that's all that relevant. Let's see what the opponent's going to draw. A Lightning Bolt for the opponent. Going to make Delver of Secrets pretty bad. We could traverse out a Hooting Mandrills, though. Maybe even a Tarmogoyf. Ooh, traversing out a Goyf sounds delightful. Something we need to keep in mind, if the opponent has Escape Shift, it's going to be a doozy of Escape Shift. With that Prismatic Omen out. Escape Shift here going to do how much damage with how many lands? They need 5 other mountains, so 6 lands they're going to need. We should be safe for a turn, so you know what? I'm going to get on the Traverse for Goyf cast Goyf train. Sounds pretty good to me. Not expecting a Relic of Progenitus in the opponent's main board. So I don't mind going all in on the Tarmogoyfs. Also, they're 5/6s in the opponent's at 10. We picked up a Thought Scour, not something I really care about. Especially tapped out. Bolt plus Bolt? Bolt plus Bolt, sure. Forcing the opponent to send 2 bolts at Tarmogoyf. Something I don't mind. I'm going to get in there with the Big Fat Goyf. And I might even play both Delvers. With the opponent not having made their 5th land drop, I don't think we need to pretend we have counterspells in hand. I think I would be more happy to just ensure that this game closes as quickly as it can. And there it goes closing. Let's head to the sideboard. We're going to do the same thing we did for the previous match, I think. Maybe we keep Dismember in and take Vapor Snag out instead. I want Flash Freeze, I want the Mountain, I want the Revelry. We already saw Prismatic Omen. 2 Blood Moons, that's going to do it for cards in. We took out Shoal, Snag. What else leaves? 1 Traverse, 1 Forked Bolt, 1 Lightning Bolt. I feel like even though the burn spells have done at least some amount of work in the last 2 matches, this one game and the previous match I played against Titanshift, even though they did work, I feel like Blood Moon, Destructive Revelry, Mountain, and pretty much any other card that I'm keeping in does more work. We have 2 minutes here, though, given that I just played against Titanshift and don't really need to head back to the spreadsheet to see how we're boarding. So let's think about this. Knuckleblade, how good? Good against Baloth, bad against 1/1s that block it. Still, it's a threat, and it's a threat that can get haste, so that's not bad. Dismember, only really useful against Obstinate Baloth. Is there something better than Dismember? Huntmaster of the Fells? Huntmaster just seems too slow for what we're doing here. I just want to kill the opponent. I don't want to be fancy. I don't want to transform anything that's not named Delver of Secrets. I don't care about how many 2/2s I generate off of my 4-drop. I just want the opponent dead. I don't think Huntmaster is what I want. If Huntmaster was Obstinate Baloth, it might actually be worth bringing in, given that it could do some amount of clocking in addition to gaining 4 life. I don't think 2 life is good enough. I really don't. Do I want to keep this Traverse? We saw Traverse do some decent stuff last game, getting us the 2nd Tarmogoyf. That was probably pivotal. Do I want both Traverse in post board? I think the threat density is probably fine here. We didn't board out any actual threats. I don't think I boarded out a single creature. I didn't. So our threat density is just going down by Traverse. The opponent's not interacting with us whatsoever. I mean, a couple Anger of the Gods and a handful of Lightning Bolts are probably their interaction. Obstinate Baloth and 1/1s to slow us down. So I don't think we need the threat density. I think it's more we just need to kill them quickly enough. We don't need card advantage. We just need tempo. Let's submit that and see what happens. The opponent taking their time. Usually that's us. Good to see I'm not the only one. This hand's bad. This hand is bad. 1 land, 1 bauble, almost, not quite. I'm going to mulligan. If that was an island, I'd probably consider it. If that was an island, I'd snap keep. This one we're going to go with. Can I have a land? I can't. Vision's actually not that bad. Vision's probably what we're going to keep on top, but then again, we have 2 Mishra's Bauble, and I do want to slam that Delver. Let's bottom it. I want to get at it. Let's see what we can do here. I don't want to spend turn 1 casting Serum Visions. I want to play my threat. I want to find some lands, and I want to close the game. Let's get Breeding Pool. Steam Vents is going to be better for Blood Moon. Breeding Pool better if we draw a green threat. Let's get the Breeding Pool. We're going to pay 2 life because I want to cast Delver of Secrets. Not holding up Spell Snare this game. We are going to cast a couple Mishra's Baubles. I could see wanting to cast these one at a time. However, we need to trade these Baubles in for actual cards, because if the land is the 3rd card from the top and I draw 1 for turn 1 for Bauble and miss the land drop, that's going to hurt. That's going to hurt a lot. So I just want to get these done. The opponent doesn't look like they have any plays. Let's look at what we're going to draw. It's a Serum Visions. We're going to be revealing that before drawing anything. Take a look at what the opponent's going to draw. It's a Scape Shift. Let's jot that down. Scape Shift. The opponent's namesake. First thing to hit the stack, Mishra's Bauble. Second thing to hit the stack, Mishra's Bauble. Show me the money, aka visions. Come on, Delver. A lot less suspenseful when you know what's going to happen. That's for sure. Maybe that's a point against Bobble. It makes the deck too consistent. We draw Visions off of Bobble 1. We draw Visions off Bobble 2. And Thought Scour off of Bobble 3. That kind of is very sad. We're going to get in for 3. Knock the opponent down to 16. Not bad, not the worst. We're going to Visions here. Don't think I want to hold up Dismember as opposed to using Visions. Foothills on top. Denial on the bottom. Let's play Bobble. Head over to the opponent. Search for Tomorrow. Coming off of Suspend, we might be seeing an Obstinate Baloth here. We're not going to be seeing Escape Shift unless the opponent is doing something very funky, because that's not a card you cast on 4 lands. Wood Elves? Tireless Tracker. That is spice. That is pure spice. Oh, that's cool. We might actually have to dismember that. They're going to get a trigger. Give them some pretty handy card advantage. Let's look at what they're going to draw. We already know what we're drawing. Summoner's Pact on top. That's going to be nothing but trouble. We're going to draw off Bobble. Get that Foothills. Get that second land. Draw for turn. Third land. Not something we can play, but we're going to play one of them. Do we dismember the tracker immediately? That's a good question, Self. Step 1, I think, is going to be get in with Delver. So we're in that spot again, which I think was one of our misplays in the previous match. We're going into a spot where the opponent can cast an Hour of Promise. Excuse me. We put down the Mana Leak shields. They cast Hour of Promise, and then we weren't able to Mana Leak the Scape Shift. So I kind of don't want to dismember this Tireless Tracker just yet. I want to keep my shields up. If we do dismember here, that means we could also Visions, which, not the worst, not bad at all. However, think I want to be a little more patient on this. See what the opponent does first. We're taking more damage this way, but I don't really care about damage at this point, I don't think. The opponent's either going to get a bunch of mountains or we're not going to die. Tireless Tracker beats, not something I think that's going to kill us, so I will take 3. They might be cracking a clue here, and I think that's our cue to just dismember it. Because that means they can't Hour of Promise here, which is the main thing I wanted Mana Leak up for. So let's take that guy down a peg. Pay some life. We're either taking 4 off Dismember or we're taking 4 off of Tracker. I know which my favorite is. The opponent's going to fail to put a +1/+1 counter on it. Draw a card. Whenever you sack a clue. Okay, I was going to say, is it whenever you investigate? But investigate is the making of the clue. Definitely relevant. Something I never noticed. The opponent, probably with a 2-mana ramp spell. It's a Farseek. That's fine. Not good, but fine. We're going to fetch a land tapped here. Almost certainly a Steam Vents. Pretty much without a doubt a Steam Vents. Put that into play tapped. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The opponent's going to have Scape Shift through Mana Leak next turn. And it doesn't look like there's anything we can do about it. We will get in there, but whew. Then again, that assumes they have a land, which I think is a pretty fair assumption, but it is an assumption. So we're not necessarily dead. We know they have Scape Shift. I think they shuffled away the Pact. That is something... We could use the Mana Leak just to tap them out, but I think I'd rather flash in Snapcaster Mage. Plus, if they go landscape shift here, we can mana leak it. So that's something. I think they shuffled away the pact, so I'm going to cross that off. Search for Tomorrow. Sure, Valakut in play, so they're going for the slow kill, and it's going to work. We need quite a bit to get out of this one. A lightning bolt in the graveyard would probably help. I doubt it would be enough, but it would probably help. Snapcaster Mage going to target Dismember. Nothing much to do besides. Do we fetch here? The opponent scape shifts and we're super dead. So I think thinning our deck is relevant. What can we even draw? Okay, we have visions as well, so we actually have 2 draw steps here with sufficient mana. So I do think we're going to fetch. Probably getting a Steam Vents for more blue. I think we're going to be hungry for blue. We can always get easy access to green mana with this Wooded Foothills. So we can always grab that forest. We basically need visions. We need Goyf and Denial. That's neither of them. And then we would need the mana to play the Goyf. So we play the 4th land, cast Visions. That's 1 mana. Play Goyf, 2 more. That's 3. And we have 1 mana up for Stubborn Denial. Pretty sure that's our only out. Drawing the Misty means it's no longer there. What could we even draw? Mana Leak is pretty much dead here. We're going to knock the opponent down to 7. 7's not going to do it, though. I think I want to cast Visions, so I'm going to use this Misty anyways. Get an island. Don't think there's anything I could possibly draw, but I'm going to do it anyways. Nothing I could draw that gets us out of this, at least. What do we got? Stubborn Denial. Unfortunately, Misty Rainforest that we drew, not a Tarmogoyf. Hooting Mandrills also would have actually done it. So it's not like the chances were that low. We have Mana Leak plus Stubborn Denial, if that's at all relevant. It's unlikely, but if it is relevant, we can do it. The opponent, after Search for Tomorrow, coming off of Suspend. Oh no, not coming off Suspend. Okay, they only have 7 mana. If they don't make a land drop, pretty unlikely, we might be okay. Obstinate Baloth. Don't think we're going to Mana Leak that. Don't think it really matters. I'm actually going to Thought Scour myself here. Just for good form. Spell Snare not going to do the trick. The opponent going to have too much life. For a second, when I saw them tap 4 mana, I thought, are they actually scape shifting? And I was probably the happiest person in the universe. As is, we still need that Goyf. Second Denial, not Goyf. This just in. Second Denial, not Goyf. We still have a chance. Not going to get in there. Definitely just passing the turn. The opponent now with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mountains. Probably getting a mountain off of this Search for Tomorrow, which we definitely can't counter. And pretty sure that's going to do it. 2 triggers here, most likely both going to face. Okay, 1 at Snapcaster Mage, that's respectable. I think both lines are fine. The opponent's being conservative. I don't think they can really lose taking this line, so I guess that's pretty easy to defend. It gets their Baloth in, so that's pretty fair. Any mountain here, going to do it for the opponent. There is a mountain, and we're going to go to game 3 here. At least we're going to be on the play. We might get our redemption. Okay. We have over 2 minutes again. Anything we want to change here? Maybe we board out a Stubborn Denial? They seem pretty good though here. Let's take a look at Titanshift. 21 non-creature spells in the main board. EE I could see coming in. Grafdigger's Cage makes sense. Nature's Claim, maybe for Blood Moon. Relic, almost certainly. Don't like Ancient Grudge. I do like Anger of the Gods. Beast Within, possible to defend. Rex Sage doesn't seem as good. Then again, it's a tutorable Blow up Blood Moon, so that seems pretty good. Chameleon Colossus, I probably wouldn't bring in if I were them. Crumble, I would not. And Obstinate Baloth, we know they're bringing in. So, the opponent has quite a few non-creature spells. Pretty much all of which I would like to counter. I don't think I want to board out a Denial. If anything, I would probably board out one. I want the Mana Leaks. We haven't seen Flash Freeze yet, but to be fair, it's a one-of. I mean, I'm not going to complain about not seeing a one-of. I think I'm going to run it back. I like what our list looks like. I like this 60. We're going to be on the play, playing first MTGO. This hand's bad. Let's take a mulligan. This hand is also pretty bad, but we're going to keep it. That makes it a lot better. I mean, it's not that much better, given that we're playing a Delver that we know won't be transforming. But we do know that we're making our second land drop. And that's something I would like to know. The opponent on Forest, most likely suspending. Oh, Relic of Progenitus. We're going to have to race that to get Mandrills down. That should be exciting. Okay. This is going to be a nice little sub-game we play of us trying to fill up the graveyard and the opponent trying to manage it without having to pop Relic. And if we get it just right, we're going to have an extra 4/4 in play, and that Relic is going to look very bad. That assumes we get it just right. Mountain, probably a 2 CMC spell. Here's a Sakura Tribe Elder. I'm going to Spell Snare it. Pay blue. I also want to fetch here. Do I want an island? I kind of want to just get a basic forest. The opponent going to manage our graveyard very quickly. You know what? I'm going to wait for Delver Scry. I think that's the best course of action. Wooded Foothills, okay. Play the land, get in with Delver, and, well, we have excellent Blood Moon mana if we do top deck the very powerful enchantment. We also very well may be able to cast this Hooting Mandrills, but I'm not sure. Stomping Ground, the opponent paying Shock for a Tireless Tracker. I'm pretty okay with that, given that we have Lightning Bolt in hand. Actually, I'm extremely okay with that. Ecstatic, even. That's a bad spot for Tracker. I don't necessarily blame the opponent, but bad spot nonetheless. Let's grab a basic forest. The main reason being I'd rather exile the Wooded Foothills than the Lightning Bolt, given the choice. The Misty I think we're going to save for the Delver Scry. What do we got? Stomping Ground. Don't reveal it, but we are going to draw it, because that means we can slam Hooting Mandrills. Pay Shock. Pay Fetch. Basic Island. Get in there for one. We don't have Stubborn Denial up. But you know what? We don't really need it up. No blocks. Our best blocks. Blue, green, green, blue. Delve, delve. And Mandrills comes down. Ag Salad. We also have our favorite Blood Moon mana. The opponent sacking Relic to draw. Second Relic. We're not really afraid of Graveyard Hate at the moment, I don't think. We have great mana for Blood Moon. We have access to 2 of each color on 4 lands. We're going to reveal that, and let's get clocking. Oh boy. This game's definitely going better than the last 2 did. Going to Thought Scour myself. See what we draw before combat. More information is nice. Lightning Bolt is going to make this a 2-turn clock if the opponent doesn't have Relevant Disruption. Really, it doesn't matter, but I think we have 2 Mana Leaks, so we'll just exile one of those. Get in for 7. This is exciting. Stubborn Denial looking very good. I like Stubborn Denial in this matchup. I'm glad I didn't cut any, I think. In the previous game it looked really bad, so maybe there's something to be said for that. I'm probably biased by the fact that I have a 4-power creature in play. Obstinate Baloth, that's not something we can denial, so it will resolve. The opponent going to gain a good chunk of life. We're actually not going to be swinging with the mandrills in this spot because I'd rather have denial up. We will be bolting the opponent's face though. Who knows when we're going to need that mana. 3-turn clock with just the aberration. Steam Vents, not something I wanted. But alas, poor Yorick. Get in there for 3, and we'll see if they have interaction. They don't yet. Green, Popping Relic. Yep. Snapcaster Mage looking pretty bad here as a top deck. But you know what? Given that we have Denial, Snap, Denial if we do draw it, I guess it's not the worst. Primeval Titan, probably the one thing that saves our opponent. Obstinate Baloth was a really good draw there. Here is a land. They might have Primetime. That's scary. Oh yeah, Primetime coming down. Hoo boy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mountains. They're probably going to get a Valakut and a mountain. Shoot that Delver. Oh no. That makes me so sad. So unbearably sad. And I don't know if we can win anymore. They swing with Baloth. Okay. We have Dismember in our deck. If we top deck Dismember, we can deal with Primetime. So I think we're going to take 4 here. Other top decks that make this decision relevant, I can't think of any. We take 4, we deal with Primetime, we take another 4 for Dismember, we go down to 6, Mountain doesn't kill us. Yep, that's fine. Playing to our outs as best as we can. What do we got? Savage Knuckleblade. Savage Knuckleblade. How good is Savage Knuckleblade? I have no idea. Probably not good enough. Makes me want to play the Steam Vents, because if they don't send a bunch of Valakut triggers at Knuckleblade, we actually will want mana. We're gonna go to the opponent. We're not out of the woods, that's for sure, but we're also not dead. And hopefully we can come out of this. I'm not sure how, but hopefully. Is there any way we get out of this? They have 3 mountains without having to cast a spell. Primetime has Trample. We're dead. We are dead, ladies and gentlemen. Very unfortunate. We almost did it. At least we took game 1. That was redemption. They got a Valakut, which means there are actually going to be even more triggers. Are those 2 different Valakuts? Ooh. Wooded Foothills, capable of killing us before this attack even comes through. Let's block. Yep. And there. We're at least going to make them do it. Go down to 2. They pay fetch. They're going to go to 4. Lightning Bolt doesn't even do it for us here. Oh, do they even need to? They could just ramp. Obstinate Baloth. Okay. Well, that's mighty unfortunate. The opponent up to 9 here, and now they're going to kill us. Alright. Well, we did our best. I think we made good plays this match. I think our plays this match were better than the first match. Anyways, hopefully you all enjoyed that video. Thank you for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.